Just ahead on UB Basketball Insider, the women's team is home today for a big matchup with Northern Illinois. We'll preview their contest against one of the top scoring teams in the country. The men are on the road to begin a two-game trip. We'll look ahead and look back at their third consecutive win. You'll meet Mariah Suchan, a key forward on the UB women's basketball team, and a former UB great wins a big NFL award. It's all coming up on this week's UB Basketball Insider.
Rick, no. Rebound, Mathenberg ahead to Perkins, 2-on-1 break. Nick all the way to the hoop for the two-hand dunk.
Steal. Here's Stephanie Reed. Ahead of the field, draws the foul, and one.
Dante jumps into Connor. Layup, no good. The ball's loose. Grabbed by Kadiri. Turnaround shot. Banks in and a foul.
Well, hi, everybody, and welcome to UB Basketball Insider. Men's basketball head coach Nate Oates joins us to talk about a big game today for your team, start of a big road trip. We're also going to look back at the win from a couple of days ago here at Alumni Arena against Northern Illinois. But today, in about an hour and a half from now, you got the Bowling Green Falcons on the road to begin a two-game road trip. What are you seeing from a Bowling Green team that's now won 3 games in a row in the MAC?
They're averaging, I think, 94 points over the last couple of games, too. You know, they've won a couple of tight ones. They've played in 3 overtimes in the last 2 games. They had double overtime 2 games ago in overtime, one on the road at Kent State in overtime. So they're coming around. They were younger. They're starting to play well. Zach Denny's shooting the ball well for them. They've got the pieces, like they really do. They just kind of like us, like we dropped some games we probably shouldn't have dropped early, and now we're starting to come together. They're real similar to us, and, it's going to be a tough game on the road to win there.
That's a noon tip-off in Bowling Green, Ohio. Of course, you can hear it on ESPN 1520. You can see it on ESPN 3. Then you're going to stay on the road, and then you're going to go to Central Michigan for a game on Tuesday night. Does it promise to be as fun to watch as the Central Michigan game was here a couple weeks ago when you beat them 101-91?
You know what? I'll take a win is a win, and I'll take a win any way we can get it. It'd be great if we could hold them, a little under 91. But, if they're going to give us 101, I'll take it. So, I don't know, man. Keene and Racing are so difficult to guard. It's just like, are they going to miss the shots or not? You got to make them as hard as you possibly can. They're still going to take them. I mean, you can guard them greatly. I thought we did a great job defensively on them, and they had 49 between the two of them last game we played them. They took, I think, 40 shots between the two. So, we just got to make them tough shots and hope they miss a lot of them.
Yeah, that's Marcus Keene, who leads the country in scoring at over 30 points per game. And like you said, you held him to 24 to lead to that win a couple of weeks ago. So that'll be something to watch on Tuesday night. Well, let's go back to this past Tuesday, home game against Northern Illinois. Did not quite have the basket-filling excitement of the Central Michigan game did. Yeah. But sometimes you got to gut those games out. And when it's 10-4, 12 minutes into the game, what are you thinking at that point?
Yeah, it was like 1-0 at the first media timeout. I thought I was at my daughter's soccer game again or something. It was an exciting game. At least we had the 1 and not the 0.
That's right.
But, no, I mean, we knew they were good defensively. I told our guys we're going to have to make some shots. Like, they're going to pack it in the lane, not let you get it. They're the best rebounding team. I think they led the league in defensive rebounding percentage and second offensive rebounding percentage. So they rebounded well. Like, we're just going to have to grind it out and find a way to win the game. At halftime, we go in as 25-25. Like, we're used to scoring 90-plus 3 straight games. Now we can, we're looking at maybe not getting to 50.
Mm-hmm.
So I just thought, like, you know what, we may not get to 90 this game. That's fine. We just got to figure out a way to get the win. Like, let's just grind out some stops here.
Yeah, we outscore them 40-20 in the second half, and that obviously leads to the 20-point victory. Speaking of the rebounding part of it, your big guys did a nice job in making sure that wasn't an advantage for Northern Illinois. You got good, solid play from David Kadiri and Ikenna Smart and even Raheem Johnson off the bench.
Yeah, I thought those guys did a great job. And March was their leading scorer, and he didn't get that many touches. They ended up not playing him as many minutes as usual. And, DK used his quickness. I kind of use his strength and his athleticism. Raheem's, Raheem's the one guy that's as big as him. And, between the three of them, I thought they did a good job. And Perkins took his turn on him a little bit too. So, we out-rebounded them by quite a bit. And that was one of the better rebounding teams in the league. So I think our big guys did a bulk of the rebounding, and Blake chipped in and helped out with some. So, our big guys are giving us what we need them to. I think Kadiri's, shooting the ball great, efficient. Doesn't take a ton of shots, but when he does, he's making most of them. So I like our production from our bigs right now.
One of the keys to that win, Nate, was the fact that your leading scorer, Blake Hamilton, has an off night, but somebody's ready to step up. And in this case, it was C.J. Massenberg with 15 points in the second half, 17 in the game. Do you feel like whether it's C.J., Willie Connor, Nick Perkins, that you have the ability to plug a lot of different guys in to be the particular man on a given night? Is that a big advantage for your team in the MAC?
Yeah, you know what? I think between those top four guys, that you mentioned, any one of them can, go for 20, 25 on a given night. So I think it's harder to – and, Blake had been playing great, so I really think they loaded up on Blake heavy. And, I figured they would. They're a great defensive team. And I just told our guys, be ready. You're going to have to make some shots. Like, get in the gym, shoot some extra shots, get in. So, it paid off for CJ. He's been he stays in the gym, getting extra shots up at night. We almost have to try to limit him sometimes. And, he came out in the second half and played great. So, I do think it helps that you've got four guys that are capable of doing that. And, and we've got Kadiri now pushing double digits, averaging about 8, I think, in conference. So he's helping us quite a bit. And even Ikenna's starting to come along. Devontae Jordan, I think, starting to play a little bit more. And Carruthers is kind of finding his niche on the offensive end. So, against Northern Illinois, we didn't play great offensively, but, good enough to get a 20-point win. But I do think our offense is really starting to come along now.
All right, well, we'll see if that continues again. It's a big one today for Nate Oates' team, a noon tip-off on the road at Bowling Green. Good luck on the road today. Bowling Green, Central Michigan on Tuesday. We'll see you back home again 1 week from today when you take on Miami as part of the 100th years of UB basketball celebration. So we'll catch up with you then.
Thanks, Paul. Appreciate it.
All right, Nate Oates is the men's basketball coach here at UB. Nate's got a big game today. The women have a huge game here at Alumni Arena today. We'll preview that with assistant coach Ashley Zuber when UB Basketball Insider continues right after this.
It's double the fun at Alumni Arena on Saturday, February 18th, when both the women and men's basketball teams host conference opponents. The excitement starts at 1 p.m. with the women's team taking on Akron. The men's team will celebrate 100 years of Bulls basketball when they face Miami at 3:30 p.m. One ticket gets you into both games, so make Alumni Arena the place to be on Saturday, February 18th. For tickets, call 1-877-UB-THERE.
Welcome back to UB Basketball Insider. It is a big one later today for the UB women's basketball team. A 2 p.m. tip-off here at Alumni Arena against Northern Illinois. And to preview what might be one of the games of the year, we welcome in UB women's basketball assistant coach Ashley Zuber. I don't know that you quite want to go to calling it one of the games of the year, but when you have a Northern Illinois team that is one of the top teams in the West, one of the top scoring teams in the country, it does have that big game feel, doesn't it?
It does, and I think every game has a big game feel for us. We know we have to come out here. We have to have a tremendous defensive effort on Saturday and just get it done on the defensive end.
All right, you used the word defense twice. I think you're going to use it maybe another 15 or 20 times before we're done because obviously it's going to be the key. Your squad is one of the best defensive teams in the MAC. Northern Illinois comes in averaging 88 points per game. They've topped 90 points 9 times. They have 6 players in double figures. You're going to have to play probably your best defense of the year to slow them down. So how do you go about doing that?
I think it all starts with Stephanie Reed. She starts our tempo offensively and defensively. Everything kind of runs through her, and we just lock in as a team. And I think if everybody does their job, we box out, get stops defensively, and then we can run in transition. As
you're working on the scouting report with the rest of the assistant coaching staff, how unusual is it to be scouting a team that scores the way Northern Illinois scores? It's not the norm in women's basketball, is it?
Right. It's unbelievable. I mean, they have, 6 people in double figures. Mm-hmm. They get out in transition. They shoot threes. They have the best three-point percentage in the MAC. They get to the foul line. So, I mean, we're just going to have to be focus that game.
All right, well, so the defensive pressure is going to be key for the Bulls, but as we look back at your last win, defense was a big key in the victory over Kent State a week ago. You hold the Mac's leading scorer, Larissa Lurkin, to no points in the first half. She was never a factor. How'd you go about doing that, and what kind of lessons can the ladies learn from the way they played against Kent to the way they're going to have to play today?
Well, for us, if we're in our player-to-player defense, it's all about matchups, but at the same time, it's about our team. We have to lock into stopping them as a team and being in good help side and boxing out. And if everybody plays their role well, I think we could be one of the best defensive teams in the country.
All right, offensively, you got a 31-point effort out of Joanna Smith, which tied her career high, which was amazing in itself, but even more amazing when it comes off of one of her worst games of the year, when she struggled to shoot. And I know you spend a lot of time working with the guards. That's obviously what you did when you played here at UB. How do you help a player come off a bad game, and what did you do to lead to one of her best?
We watched a lot of film, and for Jo, I think it's about confidence and just realizing when she can attack, when to shoot it, and when to attack the top leg, and when she can pull up for her jump shots. So as we move on towards the season, I think she'll get better and better as the games progress.
Well, you'd mentioned Stephanie Reed in context to her defense as it relates to today's game, but let's talk about what Stephanie has done on the offensive end of things. She's already tied your single-game assist record. She passed you against Kent State on the all-time assist record. Do you guys joke about that at all? Do you have a little fun with that? I mean, she's going to set almost every assist record that exists here at UB before she's done. Do you talk about it a lot?
Trust me, I've heard about it a lot.
Okay, I got you.
And I keep reminding her, I say, Steph, first of all, I'm really proud of her. I'm proud of the way she's an extension of our coaching staff on the floor. And second of all, I think if you talk to her, she'll tell you that the only statistic that really matters is that W or L at the end of the day. And she already has a MAC championship, so that's something more than I've done as a player. And I think when you can make other people successful around you, that says a lot about who you are as a person. So to be able to see her do that and coach her through that opportunity is just really special.
All right, well, let's not lose sight that Ashley is still 6th all-time at UB in career assist, and it's going to stay that way for a long time. You're in your 4th year as an assistant coach after the outstanding playing career that you had here at UB. How have your experience as a player helped you as a coach?
Well, I played here for, 5 years. I sat out for a year and a half. I was hurt for a year and a half, and that really helped me. Sitting out and watching the game helped me see it in slow motion. So just being able to see the play ahead. Our point guards are coached to treat the game as a chess match. Everybody else could play checkers and kind of go with the flow, and our point guards have to see it a step ahead. And that's what I keep helping, Steph and Lisa and Gabby with in practice every single day. And I will say this, as good as Stephanie passes the ball, I think that in her progression as she gets better, you'll see her get the ball out of her hands even more. And instead of leading with the ball in her hands, be able to lead with her voice.
Well, Ashley, thank you very much for the insight. Good luck today. It's the Bulls and the Northern Illinois Huskies at 2 p.m. tip-off here at Alumni Arena. Coming up next on UB Basketball Insider, Bulls are going to need another key performance from Mariah Suchan. You'll meet her when the show continues right after this.
This segment of UB Basketball Insider is brought to you by CEFCU. For all your banking, insurance, and investment needs, visit your local branch or go to cefcu.com.
Welcome back to UB Basketball Insider. Big one for the women's team. A 2 p.m. tip-off today at Alumni Arena against a Northern Illinois team that is one of the best in the Mid-American Conference. And that means the Bulls will need more contributions from Mariah Suchan. Whether she's starting or coming off the bench, she has emerged as one of UB's key players.
Hi, I'm Mariah Suchan, junior for the UB women's basketball team. I started playing basketball around 4th grade. Always loved the game. My dad, he coached it ever since I was a little kid, so I grew up with it. But my high school career was really exciting, Scored a lot of points, got a lot of rebounds. And once you get to high school, start playing varsity basketball, you realize, the next step from here is college. So I really knew, this is what I want to do. I want to play D1 basketball.
Joanna Smith trying to find the lane, hangs, can't hit. Good hustling offensive board by Suchan, up and in.
Well, coming here, I mean, it's a beautiful place, especially during the fall when the leaves change color. It's my favorite time of the year. But Coach Jack is the reason I'm here. Her passion and her personality is really what brought me here. Us bigs, our post, we have great coaches. Couldn't have asked for anyone better. With Coach Sharkey, it's really awesome because she really has that passion for UB since she played here. And then Coach Jack just has passion regardless. So they're very intuitive. They know what they're talking about, and they're just great to learn from. I would like to play overseas, if the opportunity is there. This is the game I love, and to continue to play it would be great. If not, I'm in the medical, I want to go into the medical field, hopefully. I really enjoy knowing about the problems with our bodies and the diseases, and it being able to understand them and then be able to cure them. In our semifinal win last year in the MACs over Akron, I feel like towards the end of that game, a lot of us really played outside of ourselves and stepped up. Leka, she got a putback. In those moments, we weren't thinking about ourselves. We were thinking, we need to get this ball. We need to put it in the hoop so we can advance to the finals. Not an individual was going to win the game for us, but whoever did score the basket, it was for the team as a whole.
Don't forget, Northern Illinois here today at Alumni Arena. It's a 2 p.m. tip-off. The Huskies are one of the best teams in the MAC West. The Bulls are one of the best teams in the MAC East. How's everybody else doing? Time to take a trip around the MAC. The Northern Illinois Huskies have been the toast of the Mid-American Conference. They have been one of the best teams all year long, and they're averaging 88 points per game. That's in the top 5 in the nation. 6 players in their lineup average in double figures, including sophomore Courtney Woods, who totals over 17 points per game. It'll be quite the matchup today at Alumni Arena. The Bulls and the Huskies tip it off at 2 p.m. After a road trip to Eastern Michigan, the UB women's team is back at Alumni Arena on February 18th to take on the Akron Zips. The Zips have struggled in MAC play this year. Senior guard Hannah Plybon leads the team with over 17 points per game. The Bulls tip off against the Zips at 1 p.m., but make sure you stay for the second half of the doubleheader as the men host the Miami Redhawks at 3:30. During the game, the team will be celebrating the 100th season of UB men's basketball, honoring several former players and coaches. February 22nd brings one of UB's biggest rivals to Alumni Arena as the Bulls host the MAC East leading Ohio Bobcats. The Bulls defeated Ohio 3 times last season, including a victory in the tournament quarterfinals when they knocked off the number 1 seeded Bobcats en route to their first MAC championship. The Bobcats boast the MAC's number 2 scorer in senior guard Kiera Lampkins, who averages over 19 points per game. Tip-off between these fierce Mid-American Conference rivals is 7 p.m. When we come back on UB Basketball Insider, we'll talk a little football and a little mention of a big award for Khalil Mack. That is next.
Tenacity, ambition, purpose. Here, it's not just what we do, it's how we do it.
Welcome back to UB Basketball Insider. My name is Paul Peck. Let's talk a little bit of football because the awards keep adding up for former UB great Khalil Mack. Whether he's leading his team in sacks, whether he's going to the Pro Bowl, whether he's named All-Pro. Well, this past week, an even better honor for the former Bull.
Last week, the NFL announced their 2016 awards, honoring the season's best individual performances. And it was then that Oakland Raiders defensive end and former UB football great Khalil Mack was named the 2016 Defensive Player of the Year. Going back to 2009, Mack was not highly recruited coming out of high school. In fact, his only Division I football scholarship offer was from the University at Buffalo. But over his 4 years, Mack would prove to be one of the finest defensive players in recent college history. His 75 tackles for loss and his 16 forced fumbles remain NCAA records. As Mack entered his senior season in 2013, the NFL scouts were already taking notice. But it was in the season opener against Big Ten powerhouse Ohio State that Mack would introduce himself to the nation.
Miller waits for the shotgun snap, gets it, stands in the pocket, throws it, intercepted! It's picked off. Khalil Mack is going to return it for a touchdown! Khalil Mack dives for the pylon! Touchdown!
That year, Mack helped lead the Bulls to an 8-4 record and a berth in the famous Idaho Potato Bowl. He collected several individual accolades as well, including the Jack Lambert Award and the 2013 Mid-American Conference Defensive Player of the Year honor. At the 2014 NFL Draft, Mack made history when he became the highest drafted player ever to come out of the University at Buffalo.
With the 5th pick in the 2014 NFL Draft, the Oakland Raiders select Khalil Mack, linebacker, Buffalo.
In just 3 seasons with the Oakland Raiders, Khalil Mack lived up to every expectation and more. In 2015, he became the first player in NFL history to be named an All-Pro at 2 different positions, linebacker and defensive end. This past season, he built on those accolades, notching 73 tackles, 11 sacks, 5 forced fumbles, and an interception he returned for a touchdown.
And the 2016 Defensive Player of the Year is Khalil Mack.
Through hard work and determination, Khalil Mack has risen from UB Bulls legend to NFL great.
Well, I know Khalil Mack will be cheering on his Bulls teams today because it's a busy afternoon. The men's basketball team is on the road at Bowling Green. That's a noon tip-off. You can hear it on ESPN 1520 or see it on ESPN3. Then right here at Alumni Arena, a 2 o'clock start for the UB women's team as they take on a very good Northern Illinois Husky squad. Again, you can hear the game on ESPN 1520, watch it on ESPN3, but better yet, make sure you're right here to check out one of the games of the year in the Mid-American Conference. We thank you for joining us on this week's edition of UB Basketball Insider.